Alright, so today I'm going to be reviewing the LEGO set 5887 Dino Defense HQ. This was released in January 2012, has 793 pieces, and originally went for $100. This was the biggest Dino 212 set, and since I have all of them I felt like reviewing, a majority of them, not all of them. So here's the main big one. Instead of going over all the minifigures individually, I'm just going to get into the set, and I'll show off all the figures as we go along. So first with the set, I just want to take a look around different sections of this front part. So you have a gate. Let me move some of this out of the way. You have this gate, and the main way to open it is you have to take one of these pieces of the chain out. You can just easily open it up. This part's loosely on, but it's fine for whatever you need. That's more just to connect this whole thing together. This is a print here. Actually, I think are they stickers? I think they are stickers. It's been a while, but you can basically just put the chain back on as like the main kind of defense. You can still open it up a bit, just not that wide. You have these top sections here, and all of these can detach, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to be a big hassle. You have this figure here who's in like half the majority of the sets. Same kind of printing as one facial expression, another one. Yeah, you also have these like nice palm tree pieces, which I'm always glad to get in certain sets. So you can kind of move that around a bit. And this is on a kind of turn thing, and there's two flick fire missiles. You can fire them. I usually push them though, and you can move this up and down to kind of angle it. You can't move it down though. I don't even know why I said that, but you can just put it up and I guess down like that. And you have some room up here. This side has like a fence and some like sticker detailing here. And as you move it along, this is the whole back section, which you could think is easier to get her out, but you can't another way. But this is the gate. It's kind of loosely hung on there. Basically, you have to turn a crank kind of thing up here. You can move it up to let a dinosaur out, and you have that little coil that's this here, and you can let him out. This will detach sometimes, so it's on like a sliding function, and you can move it all the way right here. And I guess you could let a T-Rex out if you squeeze it good enough, but you do have enough room for that, and you can easily just let this down. And I will show you an easier way to get inside here. So with this top section, all you have to do is put this off, and it's only connected by these two studs here. This is actually inserted with Technic pins upside down, which is really interesting. You can see the studs here, and you can, of course, it's just her, a swivel chair, and two computers. And as you can see, when you look inside of there, that's basically all it is. Not much room. It's just a good amount just for you to kind of have like a little control section. And of course, you put this back on. There's a satellite here with an antenna that you can easily kind of put here. You probably could barely see it because the set's kind of tall, not too tall. You have a little sticker here with the logo. As you can tell, this is how much room you have inside. You can fit all three dinosaurs, and I might as well show the dinosaurs best for last kind of thing. But when you move it the other way around, more of the palm trees. This is a net, of course, a net piece. You can put the raptor inside of it. You can move this up and down, hinges that way, hinges this way. And there's more room up here, but besides that, it's just the same thing. It's just like this is attached to it instead. And you can move this around. Very wobbly sometimes. You have another one of these fences with some room for figures. Turn this all the way around. First off, you have room for this helicopter piece, which is an interesting enough vehicle. Nothing too special. It's just you can spin the rotors and move the wings on this thing. And you have a room for a pilot figure, which that face print was kind of common in the day. And you can fit it on here with studs. At least you can do that. And back here, we have this character who apparently is a relative of Johnny Thunder, which is interesting at least. And you also have these detachable helmets and guns, and you have the trank darts in the bottom section, but you at least have this little part here. You can attach it however you want. And then under here is where that would be, and you can easily take this out. And this has little trank darts and a little thing. This is refill on it, and this is a whole tray. That's what this one section is. But if you take that out, you probably have a lot of room. And of course, you have some Technic beaming. This is what I showed you before. That's the majority of the set. Now there is this part that I didn't go over besides the dinosaurs, and this is this little kind of Jeep here. It has one flick fire missile on it. You can of course shoot it out, and it just has room for one figure in this little kind of front section that you can move. But it also has a crate in here, which has some tools in it. A wrench and a little hammer, and of course put this plate piece back on. You have some room back here for weapons, and here's a walkie-talkie. It's an interesting vehicle, at least they give you something. But now let's go to the dinosaurs. This is the Coelophysis He has room where you can fit like an object in its mouth, and of course claws, you can fit some stuff on it. It's mostly a rubber material, so you can kind of bend it a bit, but it's not fully meant to kind of bend. But it's an interesting enough piece. Then you have the Velociraptor or Raptor. Velociraptor is kind of small in general, so these guys are a lot bigger than they should. You can have a rotate his head, rotate his different kind of limbs. You can't move the tail though. You can move the arms, which you can fit stuff inside of it, and move the mouth up and down. Really interesting how they did him, personally. And then finally we have the big T-Rex, which I love the idea of him being in all like an olive dark brown and brown color. You can move the head up and down. You can move the jaw, the tiny arms, and the big feet, which are these huge pieces you have to put on. I think it's interesting that's like a all dark green instead of olive that they did for that technical part. And you can move the tail, surprisingly. You can just turn it or take it off. Again, with the kind of dark green in there. It's kind of interesting. But in general, this is obviously the best part of the set. It wasn't the best or only way to get T-Rex at the time, but this is an interesting variant than the one from the Dino Copter set I already reviewed. But besides that, that's all of the figures and stuff in this set. Now, for my final thoughts on this set, it's pretty amazing. I mean, the mold for the T-Rex itself, even though it's been in other sets, is really good at the time, and all the dinosaurs are exclusive technically by prints, especially that little Coelophysis or whatever. I've never been able to pronounce those. But the build is pretty cool. There's not as much room in this section here, but what you do get is interesting at least. And the main part is just a giant cage of dinosaurs, which you'll enjoy. And plus it goes with 3 of them, which I don't think there's ever been a set that goes with like 3 pretty well-sized dinosaurs before. Even some bigger Jurassic World sets. But thank you guys for watching this review, and more of them will be like this in the future.